What's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. So yesterday was another green day. 7-2 was the record for yesterday. This brings us over to 50-9 run. That's right, 50 wins, 9 losses. That's literally been in the last 4 days, 4 or 5 days. I'm going to show you the receipts for this. I'm also going to give you guys some very strong leans that I'm looking at. I'm going to go through the entire slate very quickly, and then I'm going to give you 4 different leans that I'm looking at. I've already threw out 4 different plays in the VIP. So if you want the full card, go to the link in the description. But I'm also going to give you very strong leans on how I'm looking at these plays. The playoffs is very important right now, and that's why we've been winning, because we've been focused. What teams are motivated, what teams don't give a shit, stuff like that. Stay tuned. Let me get right into it. Please make sure to subscribe if you like this sort of information. All right, guys, like I said, 7-2 day, 50-9 run. This is incredible right here. And a lot of this has been because of the live betting stuff. I'm gonna show you the receipts for that, and I'm actually gonna raise my unit size so that I'm making more money on the live betting because it's been such a dramatic difference. This is one of the plays that I gave away yesterday. I said Mavericks plus 26.5 and Warriors plus 24.5. So what this means is that the Warriors could have lost by 24. We would have still won that bet. Mavericks could have lost by 26, and we would have still won that bet. You can see over here, Mavericks ended up winning the game straight up, and then Warriors almost ended up tying this game to go into overtime. So both of these were massive, massive looks. The other one I gave away right here, I talked about this yesterday. That hit for us, which was the under for Thunder and Timberwolves. And all of these were live bets. And then this one, I said I wasn't sure about the Kings, but I ended up taking them. This was another live bet. So you can see the amounts are very small, but I'm going to actually increase that because they've been so dramatic. And then the 2 losses was the Trailblazers. They just did not come through. And then I had the Michigan and the under. I actually bought the under again for the Thunder. And then Michigan didn't come through. So those were the 2 losses, 7 wins. Now, again, guys, I'm going to go give you 4 different leans that I'm looking at. And before I do that, I want to throw out an offer that I did about 2 weeks ago. So here's the offer. If we get to 50 comments, just put a comment in this video and a like, and you have to be subscribed. If you do all 3 of those, you're going to get a chance to win a 1-week free pass in the VIP, which is worth $50 to you. That's free just for commenting, subscribing, and liking. I'm going to show you very quickly the comments that I've been having recently, and then I'm going to get right into the plays. So the way I'm going to do this again is 50 comments. It's going to be 1-week free pass, and it's going to be a random comment. So you can see I'm not going to read all of these, but basically these are just people saying that they love the videos that they've been crushing. Look at this guy said that he actually had a 1-month pass, and it was nothing but green. So these have been very dramatic wins for not myself, but just for everybody in the channel. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and then you'll get a chance to get 1 week for free. All right, guys, let's get right into the plays. So the SharpEdge tool right here, it's 2 weeks for free. Go to the link in the description for that. This tab right here, Sharp Plays, it actually tells you today's sharp plays. These are not final plays. These are just strong leans on where you should be looking. Without touching nothing else, on these sharp plays for this month have been hitting at a 63% hit rate without doing any other research, just taking these top plays. Like I said, have been hitting at a 63% hit rate. Just take a quick look here on the under for the Phoenix and Boston, Portland Trailblazers and Brooklyn, and then the Hawks at a -3.5. It gives you all the reasoning why those plays should be hitting. Now, once you have the teams that you want to look at, the ones that are strong, you want to go into the line move tool. And what this tells you is that it shows you where the books are going. So for example, the Hawks started at a +1.5. They're currently at a -3.5, and so on. You can take a screenshot of these. I'm not going to go through every single one of these. These are very strong indications on where the books are adjusting their lines to and where you should be looking. Especially on this side, it tells you, look on the nuclear side, Hawks +1.5 on the under over here for these games. So again, this is a very powerful tool called the line move tool inside the SharpEdge. Now, once we have the sharp plays and the line move and everything is starting to match, we have a very clear indication on where we want to start looking. Again, right now it's because of the All-Star. After the All-Star break and going into the playoffs, the thing shifts. We went through a very rough patch until I adjusted to the playoffs, and that's when we started winning again. So I'm going to get into this and the teams that are very strong and they have a strong motivation to win. Other teams that already tanked and pretty much gave up for the season. So once you have all that information, you want to go into the rest advantage. So you can see Washington has a 1-day rest advantage, Brooklyn has a 1-day rest advantage, and Pelicans have a 1-day rest advantage. So the 4 games I'm going to be looking at, I'm going to break them down. It's going to be the Trailblazers versus the Nets. The Trailblazers burned us yesterday, but I'm going to go right back to that because I'm going to give you the reasoning why. The other game we're looking at is the Celtics and the Suns. This is going to be a very difficult match for both teams because they're both Celtics want to get into the number 1 seed, and the Suns actually want to get into the playoffs. I think they're like 6th or 7th, and they want to get pushed over to the 4th. So either way, both of these teams are going to be fighting for positioning today. The other game that's just like that, what I just explained, is that both teams are very strong and they both want better positioning, is going to be the Magic and the Hawks. So now once we have those 3 different games that are going on that are important, I actually said 4 teams that I'm looking at, but it's actually 3. The other one I'm looking at is actually on the under for Boston as well. I'm not going to talk about that one. I'll give you the other 3, but I do like the under on the Boston game. The other thing I'm going to tell you is I really like Boston on the money line. I couldn't find nothing else to parlay them with, and they're too expensive because, like I said, they're playing against the Suns, and they're both very strong. They're both struggling very hard to win today. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to actually do a live bet. Hopefully that the Celtics end up losing the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. Doesn't matter. As long as they're losing and I'm able to get great odds, then I'm going to throw in a live bet. The way I do this, I'm going to go into sports alerts and I'm going to set up a game start, start of quarter, and end of quarter. So what happens is that when the game starts, after the first quarter, at the end of the first quarter, I start getting alerts on my phone. So this has nothing to do with the live betting stuff that I've been talking about. This is just a free tool that's called Sports Alerts, and it's going to send you an alert, and I'm going to be paying attention to the Celtics game. When they come on, then I'll be able to see if I'm going to be able to place a bet or not. So that's one of the plays that I was talking about. I just don't want to buy them at the spread right now, and it's too heavy of a juice for the money line. All right, so for this game right here, like I said, they're both between 6 and 10 ranking. The line actually shifted in Hawks' favor. I actually love the Hawks in this position. They started at a +1.5. They're currently at a -3.5. You can see the public actually agrees with the 58% bets, 54% of the money. It's coming in on the Hawks. So the line is shifting in the favor of the Hawks. The only thing that I don't like about this is that the Magic actually have a harder strength of schedule and they're covering spreads. However, look at the Hawks. They're covering spreads 80% of the time as well. On top of that, whenever they're at home in the last 8 games, they've hit 100% of their games. The only thing that sucks for Orlando is that they do have a lot of injuries compared to only one guy on the Hawks side. Atlanta should be winning this game 62% chance. So this is one of the leans that I really like is Atlanta. Now for the Blazers and the Nets, like I said, one of the things that sucks about this is that they lost yesterday and they're on a back-to-back. However, they're going against the Nets, and the Nets are pretty much done. They already threw in the towel for the season. I mean, they will be fighting, but it's not a big deal for them if they lose or win. Now, it is a big deal for the Trailblazers because they still want to they have a playoff spot, and right now they're choosing between 6 and 10 positioning. So they are going to be really, really trying to win this game. Plus, they're going to be on a revenge game because they were supposed to win that game yesterday. Now for Boston, this game I was actually going to take the other way, which I was going to do that plus like 20 with the Suns. But again, I couldn't find another team to do that with. So on top of that, the Boston actually have even a stronger motivation to win than the Suns do. Suns are going to be fighting for this play, but the Celtics have a stronger reasoning. They want the home court advantage. They want the first positioning advantage, and they're a much better team than the Suns. You can see that clearly they started at a 7.5. They're currently at a 10.5. So that line is shifting 3 points in Boston favor. Now, like I said, the Suns are no bums either. They're 70% hit rate over here in the last 10 games on the road. However, if you look over here, Boston just dominates overall. Boston does have an 82% chance of winning this game. And the injury shouldn't impact it too much. I mean, Vucevic is over there, but it should not affect it too much. The key indication here, like I said, is that Boston is going for the number 1 seed. So they definitely want to win this game. All right, guys, so I gave you 3 different leans right there, actually 4 different leans. Go check those out. Also, we've been hitting a lot on the live betting. I'm going to try to figure out if we're going to do a Telegram chat or some sort of other way, maybe a YouTube live or something like that, so you guys can follow along with what I'm doing. Otherwise, please make sure to subscribe, make sure to comment. If we get to 50 comments, I'm going to give away 1 free week pass, which have been extremely valuable in about the last week and a half. Thank you so much. Let's have an amazing day.